Toby. Good evening and welcome. I'm Toby, your financial expert and news journalist. Like Lawrence O'Donnell and Rachel Maddow, we dive deep into the news, connecting the dots, especially when it comes to your money. Let's get right to the major global headlines. Top world news events. 1. The ongoing crisis in Gaza and the proposed U.S. peace plan. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza remains an urgent global concern, underscored by renewed international efforts to secure a lasting ceasefire and deliver essential aid. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced a 20-point plan aimed at ending the war, which Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has accepted. However, as international correspondents report, the key question now is the response from Hamas and various other stakeholders in the region. The sheer complexity of this proposal, which reportedly addresses issues like the Israeli annexation of the Gaza Strip and the long-term status of Palestinian governance, means the global community is holding its breath. 2. Global food inflation and supply chain pressures for millions of families worldwide, particularly in regions like Latin America and the Caribbean. Food insecurity remains a critical challenge. The shadow of the COVID-19 pandemic, coupled with rising prices, is pushing food inflation to levels not seen in decades. This isn't just about rising prices at the grocery store. It's a profound threat to sustainable development and the hard-won achievements in poverty reduction. The financial news. How it affects the consumer now. Let's turn to the two major financial stories that are having a direct, measurable impact on every consumer's wallet. 3. U.S. consumer confidence plummets amid job and inflation fears. Top financial story. This is the kind of headline that Wall Street truly pays attention to. The Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index has fallen sharply in September to its lowest level since April. The core reasons are twofold: inflation and a weakening job market. Asterisk, the stock and trade angle. Consumer spending is the bedrock of the U.S. economy. When confidence drops this significantly, it signals consumers are tightening their belts. We're seeing declines in intentions to purchase services, especially travel. This translates directly into volatility for consumer discretionary stocks companies that rely on non-essential purchases, like airlines, major retailers, and hospitality giants. Traders are likely rotating out of these sectors and into more defensive stocks, like utilities and staples. A nervous consumer is a cautious investor. Asterisk the consumer effect. For you at home, this is the feeling you get every time you fill up your gas tank or buy groceries. Inflation has regained its top spot as the primary concern. Furthermore, perceptions of the job market are deteriorating, leading to fears of difficulty finding new work. This bleak outlook, particularly combined with a rise in the share of consumers expecting a recession, means expect an even greater emphasis on saving over spending and a general slowing of economic activity as we head into the holiday season. 4. Government shutdown threatens U.S. economic data and services. Top financial story. The political impasse in Washington, D.C. is once again raising the specter of a federal government shutdown. The deadlines are looming, and the consequences, while often described in political terms, are fundamentally economic. The stock and trade angle. A shutdown injects immense unnecessary uncertainty into the market. Critically, the Bureau of Labor Statistics would stop collecting and releasing key data like the monthly jobs report. In a world driven by algorithms and real-time data, removing this critical information creates blind spots for traders, economists, and Federal Reserve policymakers. Uncertainty is anathema to market stability, and we could see a brief, sharp sell-off in response, particularly hitting sectors that rely heavily on government contracts or regulatory approvals. The consumer effect. Beyond the headline, a shutdown hits the consumer directly. Essential services, though prioritized, often face delays. But more practically, a shutdown threatens to impact the delivery of checks and services from agencies like the Social Security Administration. Perhaps most concerning, some reports indicate this action could be tied to increases in monthly healthcare costs for millions of Americans. For the average family, this is a very real threat to their financial stability and budget planning. That's the worldwide view from my desk. Next up, we turn to the 5 most important headlines in your local area. Here is Janine Holcomb with the local news for Los Angeles, California, United States.
Thank you, Toby. It is my honor to bring you the news from right here in our community. Here are the top 5 local news events impacting Los Angeles and Southern California today. 1. Coastal Bluff landslide in Rancho Palos Verdes. A major natural event has captured attention in our area. Hundreds of feet of coastal bluff in Rancho Palos Verdes sloughed off and fell toward the ocean this week. While the recent movement caused minimal structural damage to homes and no injuries, it is a stark reminder of the long-term threat facing this wealthy enclave, where years of torrential rain have accelerated land movement. Local officials are urging Governor Gavin Newsom to sign a bill expanding California's definition of emergencies to include landslides made worse by climate change. 2. Arrests in San Fernando Valley gang murder for hire plot. The U.S. Department of Justice announced the arrest of 5 affiliates of San Fernando Valley-based street gangs on a federal criminal complaint. The charges center on a murder-for-hire plot targeting a local Armenian organized crime boss. This case highlights the ongoing federal efforts under Operation Take Back America to dismantle transnational criminal organizations and curb violence in our local communities. 3. USC and LMU faculty union battles. Unionization efforts for non-tenured faculty at both the University of Southern California, USC, and Loyola Marymount University, LMU, are facing significant pushback. The core dispute involves the university's claims of religious exemptions and whether the National Labor Relations Board, NLRB, has jurisdiction. This is a crucial vote for the future of employment rights in higher education right here in LA. 4. California Labor Commissioner cites LA restaurant for wage theft. The California Labor Commissioner's office cited a Los Angeles restaurant over $680,000 for wage theft violations affecting dozens of workers. This action is part of a broader, statewide effort to combat wage theft and ensure workers receive the pay they are legally entitled to. It serves as a strong warning to all businesses in our area about compliance with labor laws. 5. Pasadena Water and Power resumes critical infrastructure improvements. Good news for the utility grid. Pasadena Water and Power is set to resume critical power infrastructure improvements. This work is essential for ensuring reliable and safe power delivery to residents and businesses in the Pasadena area as we head into the next season. Residents should check their local PWP advisories for any temporary service impacts. That is your local wrap-up for Los Angeles. Stay blessed, and may God bless all of His people wherever they are at. And thank you all for joining us for this in-depth look at the news. Good night.